Currently ranked as the 20th best pitcher of all time, Zack Greinke's career since 2004 has been nothing short of the strangest to come from a soon-to-be Hall of Famer. The 41-year-old has gone 223 to 141 with a 3.42 ERA, 121, 1.17 WHIP, and 2,882 strikeouts in 3,247 innings. He won 6 consecutive Golden Gloves from 2014 through 2019, and in 2009 he led the major leagues in earned run average and won the American League Cy Young Award. If none of this sounds familiar, put simply, Zack Greinke is a powerhouse of a pitcher. And yet, the title that stuck with Greinke throughout his career is the weirdest player in baseball, as well as the most disliked in baseball, and a socially awkward freak. One of his coaches is quoted calling him a sullen loner, and another an utterly failed starter. Despite coming out as the #1 prospect, Greinke publicly announced his boredom for baseball, and throughout his career he has threatened to quit to pursue tennis, golf, and becoming a trash man. He's also quoted as saying to a pitching staff for the Kansas City Royals that he has more fun mowing lawns than playing baseball. But why? Zack Greinke was raised in Apopka, Florida, where in his early years, Greinke became one of the best tennis players in the country, with an astounding 50-0 record, only leaving such an illustrious youth career because he would cry before matches, terrified of losing. Soon he grew acclaim as the #1 prospect and the Sports Illustrated Future of Baseball. It was known by those around Greinke he had remarkable adaptability as well as the work ethic to control the baseball field, and it wasn't long before the rest of the world saw it too. Greinke was drafted by the Kansas City Royals in 2002 at 18 years old, and turned down a scholarship offer from Clemson University to sign with the Royals for a $2.5 million signing bonus. For the next 2 years, Greinke soared his way through the Royals farm teams, proving his worth as an asset to their organization. Greinke recounted calling his parents on the road during this time in tears, saying he wanted to quit and come home. But in 2004, he was called up to the Royals to start in the MLB at 20 years old, against his wishes to stay in the minor leagues. Greinke's first MLB career at bat, he cracked the first ball deep to center field, making his first major. League hit a home run. To make this even crazier, his eyes were closed. Greinke finished the 2004 year with an 8-11 record and a 3.97 ERA in both 4 starts, showing both dominance and a prolific executing fashion. Along with his growing fame, Greinke's anxiety and fear grew too. A habit that Greinke has continued until recent seasons was seen early in Royals practices and before games, where Greinke could be found sitting alone in the stands gathering his thoughts and enjoying solace while his teammates talked and hung out. This habit was only matured by COVID, when Greinke was able to enjoy the stands to himself during game breaks without fans to take up the seats. It was during this time Greinke was quoted as saying he prefers it without fans in the stadium, and if it were up to him, it would stay that way. That's the biggest different vibe is that, I don't know about how it's supposed to be making friends with guys, talking about getting along with players. It's always been the same. Just go play baseball, kind of, said Greinke in a pregame interview. And Greinke stood by this rather unpleasant statement in his earlier years. During his time on the Dodgers, the team stopped at a pizza place when star teammate Yasiel Puig was outside when the bus was ready to leave, looking for his luggage. He was told to close the luggage bay several times, but he ignored these requests. This minor irritation was the tipping point for Zack Greinke, who then grabbed Puig's suitcase and threw it into oncoming traffic in the street. According to the New York Times, the two were separated. Greinke was no stranger to on-field altercations either. After 3 separate instances of Greinke hitting Padres left fielder Carlos Quentin, enough was enough. Greinke's collarbone was broken upon impact, and Quentin has defended his actions since the incident. But why was a generational talent pitcher making millions of dollars putting himself in the middle of drama and conflict constantly? The answer is what brought Greinke to his breaking point, causing him to quit baseball in 2006. Greinke later remarked that at the time, he did not expect to return. He left spring training for personal reasons in late February 2006, later revealing he was diagnosed with depression and social anxiety disorder. He reported back to the Royals' spring training facility in Surprise, Arizona, on April 17th, where he underwent ongoing pitching sessions. But he was ultimately placed on the 60-day disabled list due to psychological issues and left baseball entirely. He began seeing a sports psychologist and taking antidepressant medication, and Greinke only made 3 appearances out of the bullpen in 2006, and finished the year 1 with a 4.26 ERA, his lowest season stats ever by far. In his time off, Greinke reportedly went home to Apopka, Florida, where he discussed with friends and family his interest in landscaping, or as he put it more simply, mowing lawns. It wasn't looking good for Greinke. He lost all interest in baseball, and his former distaste for the public light was at an all-time peak. In an interview in 2006, Greinke said the following: "The toughest part is convincing people that it's not a problem anymore," he said. "When I left, I was leaving and never coming back. It was one of the best moments of my life to get that off my shoulders. I knew how much I hated baseball at the time, and I had no intentions of coming back. I told myself that there was no way I was coming back. But when I was talking to the psychologist, I kind of realized it wasn't baseball that I didn't like." Greinke didn't like all the idle time being spent on a baseball field when he wasn't pitching, nor did he understand many of the rules players were expected to follow. With professional help, Greinke was able to regain his love for baseball and return to the MLB with a better angle on himself and the medication to support this new mindset. General manager Dayton Moore said Greinke's troubled past would not be a factor when it came to the opening day roster, quoted saying, "I think the great thing about Zach's situation is he has turned it into a positive, which is good to see. We all learn from the circumstances that we go through." Moore made an agreement with Greinke that stated Greinke would only have to speak with himself and the Royals head coach once every 4 days. And it worked. The support and understanding from the Royals organization was enough to bring back the troubled player, and it wasn't for nothing. His 2009 season was nothing short of a sensation. He won the Prize Cy Young Award, and Sports Illustrated put him on the cover and called him the best pitcher in baseball. "They'll probably sell their least amount of magazines in a long time," Greinke told the Kansas City Star at the time. But his humbleness came with a visible scar to bear. MLB fans were still unrelenting in their ability to put down Greinke for his leave of absence and occasional strange behavior. Greinke, unsurprisingly, fed off this kind of reaction, winning the Silver Slugger Award twice and the Gold Glove Award 4 more times since his absence, marking a grand total of 6 for his career. Greinke has never stopped learning, never stopped tinkering and searching for something new. Greinke has shown this not only in his pitching, but in his ability to overcome the mental challenges thrown his way. He's become undeniably one of the best pitchers of all time. At 40 years old, Greinke isn't ready to step off the mound. Greinke is currently a free agent, however he hopes to return for his 21st MLB season once again for the Kansas City Royals, and is uncertain as to when he plans on retiring. Beyond remarkable stats, Greinke's career stands as not only a testament to getting help with mental illness, but a breakthrough in the understanding of anxiety and depression in MLB and the sports world, where before Greinke, it was seen as nothing but a weakness to be ridiculed.